The weather's cold. Sky is cloudy. The sun sets at 4:45. Seasonal adjustment is a real bitch. Want to talk about some ice levels? So with the booster course pass done and over with, Mario Kart 8 is pretty much the undisputed Mario Kart experience. I don't think anyone's really going to argue with that. Something I can't help but notice, though, is just how many tracks in this game, base and DLC combined, revolve around ice, snow, winter. So I figured, it's December, it's chilly, the days are super short, everyone's depressed, seasonal adjustment disorder and all that. Why not lighten things up a bit by ranking all of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe winter-themed levels? Because we got a lot of them. If you count the winter portion of the Animal Crossing stage, we got 9 of them. So, yeah, let's do this. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I had a bit of trouble deciding if I should even put this track on the list, seeing as only a quarter of it is technically winter, but I figured I might as well, seeing as it was going to be at the bottom of the list anyway. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm just not a big fan of the Animal Crossing track. Credit where it's due. The season changing, that's a great gimmick. It's the best thing about the track, but seeing as this is strictly a winter-themed list, that's not really going to help it. Gimmicks out the window, I always just found the layout of this place uninteresting. I get it, Animal Crossing's a more laid-back series, so it makes sense that the track would be a bit more laid-back, but it's just not very distinguished in my opinion. I mean, for the winter portion of this track, they at least could have, frozen over the water in the beach area, but no, they didn't. It looks nice, I'll give it that. It definitely nails that Christmas Toy Day aesthetic. But be it winter, spring, summer, or fall, I don't find myself coming back to this track much at all. Ice, ice, baby. Yeah, Ice Ice Outpost. Yeah, this is a stage that I think is a lot better on paper than in execution. I want to love it, but I can only feel lukewarm at best, given its placement on this list. The gimmick is admittedly really interesting. 2 slightly differing paths you can periodically hop between. That makes for some varied gameplay. You can really mix things up, but due to the width of the track practically being split in half to accommodate the gimmick, the whole thing feels incredibly claustrophobic, kind of ironic. On paper, you have a lot of freedom, but in execution, you feel so confined due to just how narrow this track is. The shortcuts are kind of neat, even if this one is super awkward to pull off. I'll say I love the Arctic Ocean aesthetic this track is going for, but spoiler, I like the way pretty much every track on this list looks. They're ice levels, they're pretty much always guaranteed to be pretty. GBA Snowland. This course is alright. It's as run-of-the-mill as a run-of-the-mill ice level gets. I've got a soft spot for the Penguins. I mean, look at these guys. But yeah, you want an ice level that's not the most mind-blowing thing in the world, but still knows how to be a perfectly functional ice level? GBA Snowland. I'll tell you what is out of this world, though. The music of this place. It is so infectious in its optimism. Whenever I hear it, my mood just raises through the damn roof. So yeah, perfectly middle-of-the-road ice course with awesome music. Vancouver Velocity. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I almost forgot to even put this track in. It wasn't until after I wrote the first draft for this script and started recording my gameplay footage that I realized, hey, Vancouver Velocity counts as an ice level. While it may have slipped my mind at first, I honestly couldn't tell you why, because this is probably my favorite of the Tour City tracks. It's probably a toss-up between this and Athens Dash. But yeah, genuinely solid course we got here. I kind of wish the entire track was as solid as lap 1, because this place really, really starts out strong with a beautiful Capilano suspension bridge segment. The Rogers Arena in laps 2 and 3 is pretty novel too. Shy Guys figure skating, gotta love that. But I feel like this track kind of blows its load a little early, and by the end it starts feeling more like your run-of-the-mill city track. Still, Vancouver Velocity is a satisfying experience overall, and the music slaps. It makes me want to visit Vancouver, and That's saying a lot, seeing as how much I despise cold weather in real life. I admit, I was kind of thrilled to hear Rosalina's Ice World was getting in over Piranha Plant Pipeline. Of course, that means Piranha Plant Pipeline is in danger of becoming Mario Kart Lost Media, but come on, this stage is beautiful. Beautiful! I am an absolute sucker for the ice level at night aesthetic, and this stage absolutely delivers on that. Also, a bit of a side note here, but the Staff Ghost on this course is an absolute bitch to defeat. You need this level perfected if you want any hope of beating this one, and by doing that, I gotta say, yeah, this stage is more than good looks. Yeah, a lot of people like to give the stage flack for just being kind of boring and there, but no, there are a lot of intricacies. What with the half pipe, the underwater segment that gets harder and harder to avoid after each lap, the branching pass at the end. There's a lot of factors you have to weigh when mastering this place, and yeah, it's an overall very solid stage, and better than it gets credit for. Now we're really cooking with gas. Literally. If I was looking at this list from an objective standpoint, Mount Wario would probably be number one. It's a masterfully constructed course. It's got 3 distinct segments for its laps, making for a wonderful sense of progression as you're essentially skiing down this mountain. But I'm ranking these tracks based on my subjective opinions, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm starting to get tired of this course. It's been here since the game's launch, and it's picked online a little too much for its own good. Also, I don't find some aspects of this course as eye-poppingly pretty as some others on this list, but that's a little subjective. That cave section looks pristine, though. Overall, one of base Mario Kart 8's best courses, without a doubt, but not at the top of this particular list. It was a damn fine attempt, though. Hoo, Merry Mountain. Remember when I said I was a sucker for the ice level at night aesthetic? Combine that with a Christmas theme and you have got Euphoria incarnate. I'm fully aware I put a pretty nighttime ice level at the bottom of this list, but I really don't think the course design was enough to save it. But we're talking about Merry Mountain now, and this place is fun. Fairly simple in design, but it's such a joyous spectacle. Yeah, the Christmas train alternate routes, the half pipe at the very top of the mountain, the optional glider segment on the way down, overlooking this cozy holiday village. This stage nails Christmas. It's probably my favorite new course, the Booster Course Pass introduced to 8 Deluxe. Yeah, I know it was also in Tour, but who plays that anymore? Yeah, I'm serious. This is probably even better than Squeaky Clean Sprint. I'll be honest, the music was a bit of a sticking point for me at first, for not being as happy, calm, and cheery as you'd expect a Christmas level to sound. Given the quite frankly epic feel of this track, with the train, the climb up a huge mountain, it really does fit. You feel like you're on a mission to save Christmas in a way.
We're off to save Christmas.
DK Summit is fun. That is my primary logic for ranking it so high. It is quite simply, for lack of a better word, very, very fun. Yeah, I have heard complaints about Mario Kart 8's half-pipes not working as well as they did in Wii, and despite having played Mario Kart Wii a few times in my youth, I never got around to owning my own copy, so I can't directly compare. Yeah, blasphemy, I know. Either way, the trick mechanics are solid enough in this version to keep my dumbass entertained. Tricking off a half-pipe to blast right through the slowdown snow, that is satisfying. Also, the whole aesthetic of the stage is nostalgic to me as someone who used to enjoy hobby-level skiing with my dad at Alpine Valley. So yeah, it might not be the best version of DK Summit in the entire franchise, but it's good enough to put a big, dumb Donkey Kong smile on my face, I'll say that. Yeah, Sherbet Land is my number one. I ranked it higher than Mount Wario. Why, you may ask? Because it is the coziest, happiest, most euphoria-inducing Mario Kart track this side of Rainbow Road. I am serious. Look at this place. And listen to it, too. Merry Mountain may feel like you're on an epic mission to save Christmas, but Sherbet Land feels like you're sitting inside celebrating it. cranking up the thermostat with a Great Lakes Christmas ale in your right hand, a Reese's peanut butter tree in your left, a couple scented holiday candles lit, and a nice wholesome Hallmark movie playing on your TV. Yeah, the level design of this place may not be nearly as intricate and ambitious as Mount Wario, but I genuinely do love it. The added underwater sections that weren't in the original, if you want to mix things up. Yeah, the first one, which ends with you driving across the side of the cave wall, it may not be the most spectacular course design you've ever seen, but in my opinion, it's the textbook definition of genius in its simplicity. I will never, ever not look forward to replaying this. Yeah, after all the Mount Warios and DK Summits and Merry Mountains, it's probably going to seem a bit odd to see little old Sherbet Land at the top, but I'm an odd person, so there. Now, how am I going to end this video? I know!